Hello everybody, hello everybody, hello everybody. How is everybody doing? I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty swell. I've honestly I've been spending a lot of time at home because I got to go home an hour earlier than usual, and goddamn does it make a big change to how like the whole thing works. So for example, like this sounds weird, but like normally I get home on a day where I'm streaming and I stream and well, I get home, I eat some food, then I immediately stream. And then that's effectively all that happens in my day. I finish streaming and then I go to bed. But when you have an hour extra, what happens is you quickly have some food. Then you have like 2 hours to just relax. And it is a combo. The fact I had a quick tea, but the combo meant I actually had like a solid amount of time before I streamed. If I was regularly getting that, I probably would stream an hour earlier. I'd probably start streaming it like what would it be? It would be 6. I'd probably stream at 6, and then I'd get like 2 hours after it, which it might have been cool. Anyway, we're playing Disfigure. What they added is they reworked two of the abilities, Ricochet and another one I've forgotten the name of. They added a new mutator that's about orbiting, and they added this weapon. I don't like this weapon. This weapon uses the laser. I'm not a fan of the laser. So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to continue our our constant, I don't know what would you call it, escapade to try and get everything on the highest difficulty. That seems cool. We're going to unlock that. In fact, then my favorite abilities, this can go, we'll put that in. My friends are talking about the new episode of, what's it called? It's called like Hunter the Parenting. That's the name of it. I was about to call it Norfolk Wizard Guide, but that's the other thing. It's a really good show. If you want to get into World of Darkness, but you want it in like a comedy way, it's probably good. Right, how is everybody doing? It's been a while since we last had this conversation, and by a while I mean there was a whole weekend. I did a couple things. I watched wrestling. The wrestling was really good. I would like honestly the last WrestlePalooza, which was the last main PLE, I would not recommend to anyone. It's literally to that point of like, if you missed it, I would say you've missed nothing. This one, on the other hand, I would recommend as being one of the best sort of PLEs I've watched in recent times. Shrapnel seems like a good one to have. So I would strongly suggest giving it a shot if you're into wrestling. There's so many cool matches to talk about, but I won't go into it too much because I understand that it's an oddly specific thing. Like, what are the chances that you're into wrestling and you're also into this game? Because, like, let's be realistic here, right? The people that are coming to watch me aren't coming to watch me. They're coming to watch the game at this point in time. You do hit a point where people are just coming to watch you, but it's not me at the moment. So I'll try and keep. Uh, I kind of feel like I probably should just be doing a lot of topics lightly, but not sticking to a topic for too long, except for literally the game. But hey, maybe I'm wrong. I'm not really saying this with like a huge amount of conviction, so I've been playing. I'm still on my streak of like really the only game I play outside of like streaming has been just a Pokemon fan games. There's just so many good ones and they're free. Like how often can you say that you have like 6 or 7 like really good quality games in a genre that you love that you can play for free? Like how often does that come up? It's like never, right? And that's what I've got. I found a channel that just shows me all the ones that are completed because I'm not a huge fan of playing games that aren't completed. If they're heavy story. Obviously, I've been playing this game since it was early access, and it's it technically still isn't still completed. But like, yeah, I've been having so much fun doing that, and every time, this. I'm sorry, I won't always be on this constantly, but like this kind of situation is what I really love because every time you find a part of the or a Pokemon, for example, in this context that you really really like and you never used before. Like this is the thing that I don't think I could ever do normally because I'm really much a person of routine. But the idea that like you play a game and then there's that weapon you love. Say like you play a game like let's use Hades, for example. Say you're playing Hades, and then there's weapon that you always use, and you're so good at it, and you've completed the game with it, like it's your go-to, and then there's a weapon that you use like once, you didn't really like it that much, and then so you never played it ever again. I mean, this might be feel like something you just would never do as like you personally, but this is something that has come up many times in games before, where it's like I don't like using this, I'm never using it again. Oh, hello. I've been finding a lot that if I force myself to use a weapon that I've sort of come to that conclusion of like I'm never using this again, I've been having a heck of a lot of more fun with these games because I'm realizing that okay, maybe I can use this weapon maybe after a certain amount of times. I just had a bad try with it, you know? I still haven't had that problem happen in a lot of the weapons that require you to keep your target on something, I'm still having problems using those weapons though. I think it's one of those things where my brain can't sort of process doing multiple things at once. And that's sort of what you have to do in those situations. Where it's like, I shoot something and I'm like, cool, I no longer have to aim at that thing anymore. And so I go to aim at something else, you know? Whereas in these situations, they want you to be like, okay, you've shot him. Now keep it on him to get the most out of the damage. And that is a situation that happens very rarely with me. Specifically in this game. It's why the newer weapon I haven't been using as much because I've been finding a lot of the time that the point of it being that it summons those lasers that you aim at someone I just can't get full effect out of. And when you're not getting the full effect of the lasers out of the weapon is just bad. Like it's made to be weak but have that extra effect, right? It's I will go back to it. I will go back to that weapon because as I said I'm trying to try new stuff. But I just find I don't know. I never found that there's a saw weapon in this where you when you shoot it, it like becomes a hovering saw that oh okay becomes a hovering saw that you know does damage over time, similar to the lasers, except not in a line, but in like a small circle kind of thing. And that weapon I could never get use out of, just in general. I don't think taking this was good. I think I wanted my damage to be up. I think this was a mistake. Because I want to be scaling my damage to be the point where I can one-shot everything with just one-shot everything. Because if I can one-shot something with my regular attack, I can one-shot it with my shrapnel. Because my shrapnels now do 100% of the damage. Okay, we had a good idea going there. We just we took some stupid damage. I think early on I took damage from just being too close to a regular enemy. You know, it's one of those situations that I think it's a portion of what do they call it? Like it's not streamer look. It's like when you're playing a game on stream, just inherently by the fact that you also are thinking about what you're saying and talking and coming up with trying to come up with interesting things to say means that your brain is not like putting 100% attention onto it. Kind of like if you were watching a video that you're really interested in on like the second monitor, it was like it'd be taking your attention. You'd be doing, you'd be constantly looking back and forth. I think that's a problem that I have when I'm on these streams, because I know it's always the thing that people say, but I genuinely have. I've I've completed the hardest difficulty before, and not just with the weapon that I feel like it's the easiest with, which is the chain gun. None of these are hugely important. Uh, I think we want to reroll. I think we want Deadly Ricochet. I think you need to focus with this guy. Any form of like AoE. Tell you what, one of the other sort of survivor-ish like games that I want to give a try is Mega Bonk. It's been the. I'll be honest, at this point, it's probably already sort of disappearing from the from popularity. But it was huge a couple weeks ago. But that game looks like, as much as people are like, oh, we're playing this because it's a streamer game and it's just the thing to play at the moment. That unironically seems like a really good game. And what really appealed to me was I was watching someone play. I've only watched someone play about 20 to 30 minutes of this game at this point, but it had like a character select screen that was huge. Like it looked like there was about 50 of them. Yeah, let's try this. Okay, that's good. That's just a strict power boost at the moment until we're fighting something like that. But yeah, the sheer amount of characters really interests me. Because, for example, when it comes to these games, with the exception of say something like this that I just come back to every time there's an update, a lot of the time what happens is I'm sorry, I'm trying to figure out which one of these we want. Probably overkill. Well, a lot of the time what happens is that I play it, I have a load of fun with it, and then I hit a point and I go, well, I've done everything. And not like, oh look how good I am. I've beaten everything on the hardest difficulty. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like I have gotten to the point where I've beaten the game on like normal difficulty with each of the characters to a level where I'm happy. Maybe one of the characters, the one that I like, I've done the higher difficulties. I've unlocked all the things that aren't like, here's Golden Boy for getting everything in the game. So I've done all the bits that feel like you'd feel like a normal person would get. And then I go, cool, this game's done. And that's not bad because a lot of the time I've spent like £6 or something. These games are relatively simple to I guess, make, and also are normally like pretty cheap because of that. I'm not sure if I want to go these. I think I want more stuff like this. I wish there was some visual indicator of when my weapon was charged up, so that I know if I've got my enough kills to instantly redo the cooldown. Maybe there's some help thing I can, some like advice thing that I can put that in. But yeah, I don't know. That's sort of where I get to it, and then there's very little games that can keep my attention longer than that. But like, for example, this game has kept my attention because it does constant updates. That game maybe would keep my attention because there's blimmin' 50 characters for me to complete the game with, you know? And sure, statistically, there'll be like 3 to 4 that I don't like. Let's be honest. Ah! Ah! I don't have enough kill potential. How do I not have enough kill potential when I kill everything in one shot and I ricochet 3 times? I guess killing 3 enemies in this time period is not actually good. No, these aren't going to help with my shrapnel. Shrapnel might help. Yeah, let's go with that. Yep. Okay, that helped. But yeah, I really like these kinds of games. They're one of those ones where, especially for streams like this, my Monday streams where we feel like we're playing everything. Um, I I like these ones because it allows me to talk. It allows me to think while playing. I don't have to overly. I should have lost there. Getting rid of increases fire rate. Sure, that seems really good. Like it is interesting enough that my brain is like still watching, like playing the game. It's not like an idle game where you're literally not playing at all. But it's also at the level where I can think and even like glance at the chat occasionally, which something like RoboQuest, for example, which that I've played that game a couple times on Mondays, and that one has always been a kind of like, I guess, selfish decision in the sense of that was very much I'm playing what I want, even though it's not an incredible experience. -1 max health. I just lost health, so this actually doesn't change anything except for the fact I won't be able to heal. But that doesn't matter because you normally get max health when you get a heal item and you're already full health. Okay, I should have paused then when I went to scratch my head. But yeah, I want to give that Mega Bonk a try. I'm just at this situation where I spent a decent amount of money when the autumn sale on the Steam sale happened. And although it's only like it's not a huge amount of money for Mega Bonk, I mean compared to say like any of the AAAs that we've got at the moment, it's not even like close to being that level. I mean you're asking to pay like 80 quid in some contexts. As a, for example, a Pokemon fan, uh, ah, it was so close. That was a good. As a Pokemon fan, for example, if I wanted to play the game and everything that you can have of that game at the at the start, I would have to not only buy a Switch 2, because the game is made for a Switch 2, but even if you ignore that bit, I'd have to pay upwards of 120 quid to get the game that, to get a, let's be honest, probably not that good game. No offense to like the people who made it, but like the track record is not good for Pokemon games. But yeah, this one was blimmin' free. This game, if anybody wants to give this try, remotely thinks this game looks interesting, please, I recommend just giving it a try. It's free. I believe it's made by one person. The art style is incredibly cool. It's better than many Survivor-like games that came out when Vampire Survivor did well, that are actively asking you for money. And like, I'm not even just saying that because I'm playing it. Like, that's actually 100% true. I mean, just compare this to some of the games that try to harp on that whole Survivor-like thing. It's like heaven and earth. It's insanely different. What's interesting about that Megabonk game, though, is that people have been saying, "Oh, it's similar to uh the mechanics of Risk of Rain 2," but it's not just similar. It's like borderline one for one the mechanics from Risk of Rain 2. Like, and I don't blame them for doing that. I mean, Risk of Rain 2 is a great game. If you're gonna steal from the best, right? That's how like standards come around. Why all of these survivor likes came into existence. I've heard that there's a good survivor like game that is, I believe it's entirely a Hololive game. Like it's Hololive characters. I believe it's one of the VTuber organizations that wasn't the one that everybody hates now, because it isn't the one that Iron Mouse used to be part of. But like I've heard people say, like I have no clue about any of these dudes, any of these VTubers, but this game is just actually really good quality, and that actually makes me want to give it a try because I believe it's free. If not free, it's pretty cheap. Proximity. I don't think I want them that close, and I know the proximity one isn't that close, but it's still pretty close. By the way, if you didn't hear me, but I did say hello, Huckleberry, but I thought I said it a bit quickly. I just worried that you thought I was ignoring you. I'm not. um, what the heck happened there? You saw that, right? I was touching that enemy. I should have taken damage, and I just didn't take any damage. Slowed projectiles. I sometimes take that and then feel like it doesn't do anything. If it did the things on the ground, I think it would be notably better. I mean, I'll. Do I take it? Like, you get these interesting ones where, like, you can destroy projectiles and deflect them back and stuff. I just. I think I just want to take this, maybe? Just so if they get too close, they at least take some damage, and maybe that means I don't take as much damage. I really want to get the vision increases how much damage I do ability, and then also just up my ability to see again. I will say, playing more of this game, early on, I would never pick up um, the ones that increased how much sight I had. And then the longer I've played this game, the more I've actually started to prioritize them. Like, they've gone from being literally I will never get them to I will actively look out to get these. Which is kind of insane to think. I mean, I don't know if there's even anybody even here, but out of interest, does anyone know of like a Humble Bundle style website that does like effectively does Humble Bundle, but like different? As in, like, I just want another website that does Humble Bundle ones because I keep looking at the Humble Bundle bundles of games, and I'm just like, none of these games I care about. I don't care about this bundle. And so I just wait ages. So I was wondering if there was another website that like did a similar thing that maybe I could give a shout, give a go. I'll have a look after just to see. You know what I genuinely considered doing in this stream? It was like it was either play Disfigure, which normally would be a go-to whenever a new update came on, but I had tried the weapon and already, and I was just like, they haven't really added a new modifier. So like I I do like playing, but I wasn't incredibly like I need to play this now kind of thing, you know? It was either that or I was just gonna do some grinding to 100% map completion in Guild Wars because I love just mindlessly like as like a thing to do on stream, mindlessly like exploring and doing quests in an MMO is like kind of perfect because it's one of those things where I don't even really have to think, if at all, about like what I'm actually doing. Because it'll just be like grinding bare asses, you know? It'll just be going, kill X amount of enemies. Like, they make it a bit more unique in Guild Wars 2. But at the end of the day, it's just like... There's only so much, like, paint you can put on the basic collection quest before it is just a base... You know, at the end of the day, it's still just a basic collection quest. And that's not me getting at Guild Wars, because this is true of, like, all of them. Why am I not getting any of these Ricochet ones? What's happening there, eh? I don't know why I took that damage. Well, I know why I took the damage, because I was being an idiot. Okay, do we want to try out these ones, where it's like fire rate and bullet damage up by every minute that passes? They're really good to take early. I think I want fire rate. Like, because early on, I get fire rate. Just means I can start taking a load of those ones that are like lower fire rate without feeling as bad. Like, I always like taking these ones that scale, but at the end of the day, they don't scale by much. This game, this whole game of Disfigure doesn't really have. It's not that long, right? Light wave, that's okay, but I was kind of. I mean, I guess I need that for that. I like how with Ricochet, there is a logic to just not shooting the big guy, and instead shooting all the little guys that are around it and ricocheting them into the big guy. Like, could you imagine if the bullet projectile deflection thing works on the things they put on the ground? Or had, like, the secondary... I can't believe I took damage there. Secondary part of it being like that? I don't care about that. Human number temporarily increase. When missed? I'm never gonna miss. Ricochet up to 6 times, though. That's incredible. Oh, okay. It's getting to the point now where... Oh, the enemies take potentially 3 shots. That's worrying. I need to up my damage quickly, is what I'm hearing. How do I up my damage? How do I up my damage? This ups my damage. Oh, it's only 5%, but it's... Wait, it's more than 5%, isn't it? It's like 45. No, it's 40%. Wow, I actually missed a shot there. So it's sometimes I kill those, and sometimes I don't with one shot. Is there like a percentage chance thing I'm missing, I'm not understanding? Or is it... Like, because sometimes they do... Like, that was 128 on both of those enemies, and one time it killed and one time it didn't. Obviously 150 kills. This is good. See, I don't feel like as bad at taking these things that increase my damage but lower my fire rate, because now at least I'm making it back. Like, I think I took the fire rate one at 6 minutes. So at the moment, I got a free 6% upgrade, which counteracted one of my bonuses. I think that the maths make sense there. And it doesn't sound a lot by saying... It doesn't sound like too much when you say, like, oh, you've only counteracted one of the debuffs. But, you know, that's one debuff. That's one upgrade you effectively got for free. That they are not balanced around it being free. Travel which kill enemies create additional projectiles which deal... Is that good enough? I don't think that's good enough. I don't think we want that. I don't know if we want this either. I mean, this just is actually a buff. Just a 5% damage buff. It also comes with the fact a meteor could spawn at any point. I've never rated the meteor spawns that highly. These enemies used to be so much easier back in the day. Back in my day, these enemies only didn't shoot anything and just slowly walked towards you. And I'll be honest, I don't really know why I kept losing to them. Because all they do is slowly walk towards you. I guess there were more enemies, probably. Am I destroying parts? Is that Doom me destroying parts? Or am I being too optimistic at the moment? I'm 100% being too optimistic. Although, we're not doing horrendous here. Oh, we got one of the parts. Circles will freeze. Circle light will freeze enemies for 3 seconds. Every 3 seconds. That's good. I like slows because that means I can make more mistakes and it's less obvious. Now, is it worth taking this now? It would lower my movement speed even more. But this one kind of seems fun. We're trying out this one. What is this? They just walk around like this? They hit somebody and then they bounce off of that thing? I'll be honest, my eyes are only on the bouncing projectiles and not on, like, how to keep myself alive. Which actually might be the biggest debuff I've taken ever. You know? I'm not sure if that's useful. Is that useful? I don't like conditional bonuses. I like strict bonuses. And you'd be like, hold on a second, isn't technically the meteor a conditional bonus? I'm kind of just taking this for the increased damage while in vision. The extra damage that I get from the meteors is just like, it's just an extra, it's the cherry on the top. Cherry on the cake? It's the cherry on top. I think that's the saying. I don't know. I've been up quite early today. And I think it's slowly starting to have a bit of an effect on me. Okay, I almost lost life just because I shot a dude and just assumed it was dead. Oh, I do not have enough damage. I am severely I'm lacking damage. Which definitely didn't feel like it when I was fighting the boss. But the healths have gone up and my damage has not followed suit. I think I should have taken the power up. Oh god, what do I have? Something that can help me. This one. At least this shows that every time we get a kill. Now, do I take next time I get the option? Is there a point to taking the ability that was like they take significantly more damage when you when they're in your vision, but take significantly less damage when they're not in your vision? Because a lot of my ricochets are outside of my vision, and that's still damage that they take, right? So, like, maybe that's actually a debuff unless my vision is literally the whole screen. Which I feel like is a final buff. Like, if I'm sacrificing, like, 2 of my max health, I feel like I should be able to get one that's just like, you can see the whole screen. Oh! That's not possible! How did I dodge that? uh... No, that's the exact opposite of what I'd want. I don't want my fire rate going down for what is kind of useless. This isn't useless, though. I can see freaking everything now. This is what has happened when you take literally every buff to your ability to see. Okay, we are taking that buff to our damage from being in my vision now. Bearing in mind, I have 40% more vision. Do you ever do exercise and then realize? Sorry, this is completely off topic, but it came to my mind just now. I don't know why shooting weird insectoid-looking enemies made me think of this, but it did. Do you guys ever think of like when you're doing some exercise? Because I've been recently trying to do some light exercise, just to sort of make sure that I actually can keep to a reasonable weight. Effectively, I'm just trying to make sure I'm not overweight. Did you guys ever, when you do exercise, like wonder if the exercise is actively good for you? Like I've been doing a lot of exercises that involve me using my knees, like squats and stuff. And there's a part of me that's like, am I actively hurting my knees every time I do this? To the point like it's not actually like exercise, like they'll be rebuilt stronger, but like actively like, no, you are like rubbing the bone away on your leg or something, to the point where you're actually doing more damage than you are gaining in the long term. Now, I have nothing to base my idea that this is happening on anything other than the fact I worried about it because my knees always click whenever I like effectively bend down, right? And a lot of the time I'm like, well, okay, they keep doing this even after like the 50th or 60th squat. Is this a problem? Like, should the enemy below 50% health will instantly kill them? I mean, yeah. So it's effectively, not only did it give me 40% extra damage, but it also just effectively made it so I only have to hit you to 50%, which effectively doubled my damage in addition to the 40%. It's a 90% damage to basic enemies. And that didn't one-shot that guy. What? Alright, every 10 minutes. Did I misread it? Shooting an enemy below 50% will instantly kill it. So if I shoot you... Wait, how does this read? Is it I shoot you, you're at 100% health, I shoot you below 50%, you die? Or is it I shoot you, you are at below 50% already, and now you will instantly die? I'm hoping it's the first one. The second one isn't bad, because I would kind of consider taking an upgrade that was just up my damage by 50%. There's only one lower than that. So, like, I don't hate this upgrade anyway. And as soon as I get that upgrade that's like, you do more damage to people in your sight, I think it becomes a Ah, no! I can't believe I lost it to a regular projectile. I'm not defeating the final boss. The final boss, I need to actually go in there with a couple of health bits, because they do this sort of like back to back, like, I'm going to hit this area, then I'm going to hit all the areas you would have hid to get in this area. Yes. The damage. How is that only doing that much damage? I think those big enemies have 1,500 health. That's my guess. Based on just that interaction there. Where I feel like I was averaging about 700 and I'd had to do 3 shots. But this guy... Oh! I don't like you! Get rid of it! It's blocking off too much of my area! It's crowd controlling me! I'm supposed to be the one crowd controlling, not him. If I didn't think that I was still in a situation where I need to be buffing damage, I would 100% be buffing projectile dodging. I know I said that that's a thing that I shouldn't, I didn't need to do, but I instantly regretted saying that as soon as I had to deal with these enemies. They do a good job of making it so that, like, you never feel like you're insanely overpowered to the point where you can kill everything instantly. Except for, like, I've had some builds with the chain gun where, like, I felt like I was functionally invincible. But I'm not sure if that's true on, like... I'm not sure if that was true for this difficulty, and I'm not sure if it was true on this update, where they've bumped up the power level of all the bosses notably, and also all of the sub-bosses are pretty powerful as well. It is a good change in this. Normally, I'm not a big fan of, like, upping the damages of stuff, but genuinely, this is probably a good situation here. Look at him! He's too scary! My movement speed's not good! No, 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 no! Okay, 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 okay. Die, 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 die. Stop doing the weird attacks. No, 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 it's a laser. I don't like it. I don't like that attack either. No, no, no. That's not fair. That's too quick. I was so close. Okay. Do we want to try a different weapon? Do we want to try a different weapon? I mean, this feels like worse this, you know? Less damage. Fire rate's only slightly better. Bullet size is, I guess, up, but who cares about bullet size and who cares about bullet speed? You know? That's the thing that I don't understand is, like, what's the bonus for bullet speed? Why is that needed? What is the logic to that? I'm gonna try pistol. I always like pistol. Anything here I want? I feel like refine is gonna be the thing we want. I think we just want to have the most speed we can physically get on this pistol. But I'm not 100% sure. I'll be honest, pistol is not the one I'm, like, 100% sure of my abilities with. I feel like it has the DLC problem, this game, where, like, I feel like the later guns are, like, notably stronger. You know? Let's pick that. I love the radiation upgrade. Especially if you are going, like, pure fire rate. Which I do like going down. It's a lot harder to do than pure damage. Because pure fire rate, you have every upgrade saying, I also lower fire rate. It's actually the only part of the vision buff that we just didn't have at that point. So, like, the vision package also has radiation, because radiation cares about everything in your vision, right? At least normally. I don't like using cone view. That didn't give me something I wanted. I guess Light Meteor is good, but I want to take Quick Draw. You know what's interesting about this game is that normally I'm not a fan of upgrades that also have downgrades to them. It's one of those things where I never know which one of them is good, and so I'm always iffy on those things, right? One of the games I always look back at, even though it's not a game that I'm like I ever was hugely into, is I think it's called like Phoenix Force or something. Phoenix Protocol. I think it might have been Phoenix Protocol. It's a game that was effectively like XCOM. But the reason why I bring it up is because that game had a whole thing with their armor where you never got like strict upgrades for armor. They were always just like, this isn't an upgrade, this is sort of like a side grade. You know, it's always a side grade, but like you'd have that access to more options. Bullet damage down. That kind of seems fun. I want to go that route. Reroll. Yes. Faster. The missile's cool, but it's not really what I'm going for. The radiation's cool, but it doesn't do enough to. Oh, I wonder if it can. It does do enough to actually three-shot the light enemies. Look at this. Look at all the damage it does. But yeah, like that game only had side grades for weapons, and that game I had no chance playing. I just had I failed at the first hurdle with that game. It looked so cool because it had this whole thing where like the aliens would also adapt to what strategy you did. And so you had situations where you'd like, oh, I've gone heavy, say, I don't think melee was really a thing, but say I went heavy melee, they are now built to deal with that melee because they've evolved to fight the thing that's fighting them. The quick trigger. I'm sure you can see with the way I'm using the missile that you can see what I mean when I say I don't really use the ones that follow my mouse very well. The hope for oh, that's annoying. Oh well. The hope for radiation is to get it to the point where it can kill the basic dudes just while you're shooting something else. What is this? Shooting an enemy revealed in the vision will freeze them for 0.5 seconds, which can only be applied once. However, enemies move faster outside your vision. That's fine. We just got to make it so there isn't any outside of my vision. Oh god, this is taking a while to kill the dragonfly. You see, before that I thought it was a bit more of a more ambiguous about like what these enemies are. Like earlier designs for the enemies made me think they weren't as obviously insects. Well, at least not all of them. Like some of them looked like amoebas or microbes. I was like, oh, okay, maybe they're going for like amoeba sort of like disease kind of thing going on. But no, they're just insects. And don't take the just as me like being annoyed with it. I thought there was something else with it, but it's actually just that. I think it's every is it every 3 shots now? I forget if the radiation was every, what is this? Radiation is every 6th shot. So it's now every 5 shots. That's actually not as huge as I initially thought, if I'm being honest. 50% more damage is 100% the one we want to go down. Because that's just a buff to all my radiation. This is what we want. Look, I'm shooting the dragonfly, and I don't have to focus anything else. Because they all just die. We use this time to get as much experience as possible. I know what people were just saying just then. They were like, why were you so close to that bullet? My answer to that is honestly, I don't know. I don't know why. Every 6 kills in vision will drop a light orb, increasing damage by 50%. When picked up, also enemies in vision take 80% more damage, but otherwise take 35% less damage. All the enemies take 5% more damage for each enemy revealed in the vision. Okay, I'm going to take this, what I feel like to be a debuff, to get that buff later. Ow! Ow! I'm an idiot. I'm an absolute idiot. What was I doing there? How can this person think he can win in Nightmare if he can't even do that? I had such a good build and I lost 2 of my health there. What am I doing? I should have stick to blimmin' Farmville or whatever the old sort of Facebook games were. I'm absolutely washed. Oh, I thought the green was radiation there. I guess proximity boost. I don't know if I want them this close, but this was the worst thing to get. I don't know why I got this. I should have just taken like fire or something. How much am I doing outside of this proximity? 10. It's giving me 3 more damage, which doesn't matter because it doesn't change the maths in any way. Get rid of that. We don't want that ever. Radiation! There it is! My boy! 15 damage! Wait, no, it's 11 damage. But he's hitting like everybody. That's notable. I don't want this ever. Do I take Ricochet? I don't want to be taking one that gives debuffs, so I probably won't be taking that. But I feel like all the other Ricochet ones are like, it's something. You know, it does some damage. Not gone nearly as well as it could have been going at the moment, if I'm being honest. Where's my light-based things? There you are. I can now see a bit more. Thank gosh. Is it weird to, instead of like using a swear word, to go, ah, dingus? Because that's what I do, like, generally. Not because I'm trying to not swear, but just I don't know, it instinctively is a part of me. I think it might have been something I did in high school that's just sort of kept with me. But like, my friends think of it as being weird. And I guess maybe to a certain extent it is weird, but I don't know, it doesn't seem that weird. 2 less? Sign me up. Fire rate. So now my ability takes 4 shots. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's pretty good. That's pretty freaking good. Radiation damage even less. Not great, but not bad. Ow. I don't kill stuff fast enough. This was a huge mistake. Oh no. What do I do? Quick draw? Somebody kill the mite. It's gonna kill me. I have no chance. I've lost 2 lives against the first mini boss. It's not even a mini boss. The first elite. More fire rate. I'm just not firing fast enough. That's the problem. Sure, I only do 8 to 6. I don't know what I was planning there. I lost as soon as I didn't get any other vision-based items immediately. I've decided to force a strategy, and that's just what I'm going to focus for now. Okay, what do we have here? That's a huge bonus. Well, it's about as much as the augment thing, but like it's going to be much easier to do than the augment thing. So all I need now is you to give me radiation next, and then the buffs to my vision next. Not these buffs to visions, but I understand where you were coming from there. God, in this game, although there is a lot of upgrades, they are quite generous in like you get 1 reroll every turn, you get 1 delete every turn, which I believe functionally just makes it so it will not be seen again. Like I never use Clone Sentry, so it kind of just gives you a new. I need bigger vision because might become like a liability to me if I start going up against the mini bosses where I don't actually want to be close. Functionally, I guess against mini bosses it's relevant, but again I meant elites when I said mini bosses. Shoot an enemy revealing a vision or slow them down. Sure. My vision isn't that good, but also slowing them down because I actually have to be that close is probably useful. I'm not sure if I'll go down the other radiation path. You know, the one that lowers how many times you have to shoot, but also lowers the power. I'm not 100% sure they're good for the build we're going with. In fact, I'd go as far to say I don't even know if they're good in general. Because if you're going for like big damage, it having less shots to activate, sure that's good, but also it's lowering how much damage they do, you know? Like this one's good because it's just a strict bonus. You know, it takes 1 less to activate. Goes from 6 shots to 5 shots. That's objectively just good. Every time I see the green ones, I'm like, ooh, oh. Shrapnel? No, that lowers fire rate. This is technically related to what we have, but I'll take the increased XP over and movement speed over a situational thing that I don't even really like. That's the flashbang. I do worry about how much time we have to take on each of these blimmin' enemies. Like, it's a 2-shot on the basic enemies that I randomly just walked forward to, and I have no idea why. Like, functionally, I should have taken damage there. Cone vision? Well, that's useful. This And not shooting. Increased by 50% of increases in movement speed. I don't think I care about that. I do care about magnetism, though. Ow! What am I doing? I don't understand what happens there. Like, what happens with my brain? Like, they're the kind of things that I would be shouting at the screen if I saw anyone else doing it. Because I'd be like, what are you doing? You saw the enemy. It wasn't as if it, like, snuck up on you. Ah, what am I doing? What am I doing? This is such a good run that I'm messing up. Do I just take strict damage? No, because if I do that, I open up the chances of those two different upgrades of, like, polluting the pool. You know what I need to be doing? You know what I'm not doing that I need to be doing? Every turn I need to be deleting one I don't want to sort of... This is huge. To sort of do a bit of, like, cleaning up of my upgrade lists so that I'm just not getting ones that I'm looking at and just not picking. Instead, those ones have been deleted after the first time I see them. I didn't even see that centipede. It was so close to me. I don't like this, which means I can't go down this road, but that would be a possibility. I like that. Even if it resets every time I kill something outside of the vision, and my vision isn't huge at the moment, I still think that's worth. Is this worth going down? I don't think it is. I think this is worth going down, though. I swear it wasn't this good before when I had 2 upgrades, including the one that got rid of my max health. Is it just more zoomed in this time? Oh no, I've got the thing where every time... Is that what upgrade I took? Every time you kill something in... Oh, now they explode! Yes, every time I kill something in my vision expands. And I'm doing okay at not killing stuff outside of my vision at the moment. This one can be a bit jarring, actually. I'm not 100% sure I like this. Right. Do what I said. We're not taking wind-up strikes, so there's no point in having that. So you can re-roll now, and you can take this. Do I focus on specifically not shooting enemies? Wait, why did that? Oh, did the explosion hit something outside of my vision? Is that the logic? Are we only on the second boss? Wait, no, is this the first boss that gives us like these things? No, it's the one that gives us the weird modifiers. Okay. That sounded like I destroyed a leg. Magnetic rounds. That is that good? That kind of looks good. Probably better than electricity, but we probably should have just gone for that. And I should have deleted something. What was I doing? We are doing no damage to this guy. I just looked at its health. I guess the radiation is doing some damage. But, like, not really. Like, I have to dodge for a while here. I need more fire rate, it seems. Right. Getting rid of stuff that we won't use. Doom rounds will never get used. Ricochet. There's some use to Ricochet, but not really. Quick Draw, on the other hand. Ooh! Quick Draw is useful. I didn't realize I didn't have Quick Draw yet. I'm so used to not getting all of my radiation things until, at the very least, having Quick Draw, if not the next upgrade after that. I know what we're picking up. We are picking up the, which one of these would I not want? Circle Vision slows down. Yes, I want that. We're picking up, Fire Rate, 100%. Like, that's not even a question. When you're doing fire rate build, I feel like you just pick up everything that says the word fire rate, because there's so many things that say the like negative fire rate that you just want to be picking up anything that gives you the remotest chance of taking fire rate. I can't believe I took damage there. I wasn't even looking. Enemies hit by a bullet are permanently illuminated with a vision circle. Is that good? Every third shot. Let's go light rounds. Why not? At least that means if I randomly hit something outside of my vision, it's not going to affect my vision cone thing, because it will then suddenly be illuminated in light. He says, assuming. If I can get that cool shield that gives me an extra life, I might actually need that. Ballistic tips are so good. Wait, hold on a sec. I don't want this. Ballistic tips are so good. I'm just going to try and get into the mindset of, like, delete a thing you will never use so it doesn't come up as an option. It just means that, like, the longer it goes on, the more specific my pool is. And I'm only going to get rid of ones that I'm, like, 100% sure I'm not going to use. So, like, Doom rounds is all about killing stuff in one shot. When am I ever going to do that? You know, my radiation might kill them in one shot, but I'm never killing them in one shot. Oh, I do occasionally roll like 100 on my damage when I'm just randomly shooting an enemy there. That might have been my we are not going multiple projectiles. We're not really going lightning bolt either. Drops of I don't think this is good, but I'm picking it up because worst case scenario is we just have to always be moving towards the orbs. Always towards the orbs. Always towards the orbs. In this way, we never have a situation where we are outside of orb range, so we never take the debuff. That makes sense. And then this is huge. This effectively does a ton more damage to my already existing powerful radiation that gets buffed by how many enemies are in my vision. God, look at the speed that you get when you're getting orbs. I worry that when I'm fighting a boss, I'm not going to be getting the orbs as much. I'm not even shooting the enemy. But for now, I'm feeling good. By the way, I saw something insane. Apparently, you know, Superman in the comics. Uh, he's apparently in the next sort of like comic book run they're doing. He's going to be he's going to be like meeting Homelander, which is insane because I thought they were like a I guess a rival group that weren't going to do crossovers. But then I've also saw things that were like, yeah, there's going to be a crossover between Marvel and DC, and I'm like, what? Like, I thought they were rivals as well, but I guess money talks. Also, isn't it kind of insane? Speaking on like the Marvel stuff, isn't it kind of insane how like it used to be that like every superhero movie was like the big thing, and like everyone was like of a certain age demographic was just talking about it, and then like nowadays, I don't even really think people talk about them anymore. Like, don't get me wrong, like the movies still do well, and like they're still, from all accounts, good movies. I just don't think people like it's not in the public zeitgeist anymore. Is that the right word? Okay, I've run out of the ability to actually shoot now. Um, I'll take robust. I mean, 10% extra damage is not huge, but being able to just go like this. Why is my damage on my radiation gone like significantly down? I have interest. Radiation is radiation a percentage of? Oh, it doesn't tell me. I was just interested if radiation was a percentage of my bullet damage. I'm assuming it is. If it isn't, then I have made a lot of mistakes, if that's true. I'll take the light wave. Because this means every time the light wave goes out, I'm also just getting damage on them. Like, I was doing 100 and stuff to enemies. Unless these newer enemies have just higher, like, defense stat or something. And so that's not... Oh, wait. Oh, I got a huge damage debuff because of the spray and pray, didn't I? Yeah, that's what it is. Spray and pray has like a 40% damage debuff. I still think this is better. Is ricocheting shots actually good? This is good for circle vision. Hold on a second. Radiation. Yeah, 100% of the damage. What's this? Freezes. Eh. I don't think I'm ever picking this up. Do we pick up ricochet? No, it's actively not what we do. Do we pick up this for shields? I don't really think there's any of these things do what we do. I'll pick shield barrier just to have a shield barrier. But I think I'm getting to the point where I'm lowering my movement speed too much. And in actuality, it's gonna come back to bite me. It hasn't yet. But like in this situation where I can barely dodge his attack, it's slightly worrying, I'm not gonna lie. By slightly, I mean like significantly worrying. Like I look cooler. Like the fact I'm shooting so fast is objectively very, very cool. But the fact that these enemies just take significantly less damage from everything I do is slightly worrying, I'm not gonna lie. I think, you know what, I actually, let me rephrase that. I don't actually think they're taking significantly less damage. I think it's just gone from like an averaging of like 70 to an averaging of 100. Sorry, an average of 100 to an average of 70. And technically the speed in which I'm shooting probably means that I'm not actually doing any like significantly less damage. In fact, I might be doing more damage, but it feels with the buff to with the added bonus of the fact that uh with the added bonus of so I'm trying to figure out what this is. Choose this. With the added bonus of the fact that all of the enemies' health and stuff has gone up, it's become notable. Okay, this movement speed was like needed. Because now I don't feel worried that I'm going to die every time I fight one of those dudes. These dudes are still surprisingly tanky, though. Every time I get to my light orbs, they're already disapparated. Oh, that one isn't. Orb, orb. Am I, like, gonna get hit by that attack? No! See, I willed that into existence. That's all I gotta do is will stuff into existence, and it should be fine. I mean, I'm not doing very good in damage here. Very good in damage. Bullets temporarily increased by doing of each that landed on an enemy. Resets when missed. I mean, that is good. Because when I'm doing something like this, where there physically isn't any spot I can't shoot that isn't them, it's upping my damage to like 6 to 700 occasionally. I think I saw 1,000 in there briefly. Like, just look at the difference in power level now. I don't think this is going to help us against the basic enemies, but I definitely think it's going to help us against against bosses, which are, at the end of the day, our major problem. There is no need to take this. It wouldn't help us. This, it would be kind of funny though, wouldn't it? Increasing spawn rate, increasing movement speed, increasing enemy speed. Enemy speed is a big problem though. Enemy speed is scary. I mean, we're going to pick it. But that's me acknowledging that I might have just picked my demise. And I'm not fine with it. I will complain. I will complain a lot. I forgot to take the health. I was that confident. You see, I should have just left it and acted like I didn't see it. I think that would have been quite funny. Just like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. I don't see anything here. Just strict bonus to my damage? I'm not choosing proximity. Strict bonus to our damage just feels like a nice thing to have. 20% when you're shooting like consistently like this. I'll take damage buffs if they're not with fire rate debuffs, you know? Honestly, speaking on that, we picked this first. It's like at the 6-minute point. We've got like a decent amount of like a 60% fire rate buff from that at the moment. Oh, this one's actually resetting occasionally because my bullet spread is like such a high amount. Oh! I don't know how I was able to instinctively dodge that, and then occasionally I just hit an enemy. How can both of those things be true? What is this? Bullet Cyclone. It's activated, it summons a cyclone. So these are all about when it activates. I don't care if it activates. Any enemy killed by a bullet explodes into wildfire. No, I don't do enough damage for the damage-related ones to matter, I feel. This is cool, but actually freezing them doesn't hugely matter, I feel. Whereas just pure damage feels like it's the thing that's holding us back at the moment. We've got almost every fire rate buff we can have in existence. I think we were right for not taking the radiation buff of like it taking one less shot, because it would increase how often it would activate by like 1/5, but it would have lowered the damage to the point where like we were having problems with damage before. We would have been having problems with damage significantly because it would lower it by it would lower the damage more than what it would upgrade by the speed. I just got hit by a projectile because I was thinking of how to word that would make sense. That is my excuse. Can you use the word excuse if it's a valid thing? Because in my head, excuse implies that it's just you're making. I was about to say you're making an excuse, but you're sort of making a. Fuck, how do I say that without saying excuse? You're making an active. You're making a reasoning that actually doesn't hold water. But like at the end of the day, an excuse just means a reason, like the reason why something wasn't done. At least that's always what I assumed it meant. I have no idea. Speed, speed, speed. I need more speed. And true, I know I get it every minute, but not enough. Okay, okay. These enemies are going down. Okay, this bracket of enemies we're good against. Let me have a look at what we have coming up. Okay, we have at least 2 more bosses to deal with. I say this, but there's like no enemies that are spawning. Okay, that's why there was no enemies spawning. We're not taking fire away. XP range? Yeah, why not? We've got much more speed than we had last time. And more damage. Oh god, that attack is always scary. Mainly because I instinctively go the wrong direction that I think does actually take longer. Nope. 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 Oh! How did I not get hit by that? Okay, I got hit by that one, though. Oh. Whew. We did it. Nightmare difficulty with the pistol. Radiation is the way to go. I could continue on, but I won't, because I know that I have won. So now I've officially won Nightmare difficulty with the pistol and Nightmare difficulty with the minigun, effectively using the exact same strategy. I realized this early on, where I was like, hold on a second. You just did the same thing twice. And yes, I did. I did just do the same thing twice, let's be honest. Do you want to see if we can do the same with knife? Yes, we do. Thing is, with knife, though, you can't shoot from a distance with a knife. So it might be a bit harder to do. I've never been that good with these melee weapons, but they're always fun to do. I mean, every enemy I'm going to be hitting is obviously going to be in my vision. Although what we can add to this is we can add the proximity marker thing. Well, I guess maybe not, because we'll just be going fire rate. So actually... proximity wouldn't really matter, because we'd be going fire rate and radiation. Radiation is just... I think it might be one of, if not the most powerful abilities you can get. I don't think I've won with a melee weapon since they added the bosses having, like, things they put on the ground. Because I always instinctively want to stay back when those are. Like, that final boss, I don't know how we're going to do that with a knife. Like, being this close to it. I understand we'll increase our riff. Or, like, we'll increase how much width our attack does, but still going to be like that, though. Let's get rid of the clone sentry, and then, yeah, we'll take this. I do like doing this, though, being really close and just killing, like, troops after troops after troops after troops. Do we do shrapnel? It's not going to leave the... No, it does fire rate. Don't think we'll ever do Callisto. I should have gotten rid of Doom rounds. What was I doing? Oh, 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 oh. We have done it. We have assembled the radiation, the best ability. And we can see everything coming. Now we just need to see how we do against the mini bosses. The answer is, I'm never sure how close we can get to them. Like, are those tiny legs? Are those tiny legs? Like, can they hurt me? I'm pretty sure they can. But, like, that means I can't really get that close. Width, range, movement speed. Nah. Like, I know I just had a problem there, but, like, look how quickly this is now. Maybe I just don't need to hit them. Has anyone ever thought about that? What if we just be a pacifist that doesn't hit their enemies, but they just die passively from the radiation that you produce? Oh, what a cool build that would be. If it was just like, no, 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 I don't do any damage. What do you mean you don't do any damage? No, no, no. They all just die around me because of the inherent presence that I have. Like everyone's playing a game like a regular RPG where you're fighting and you got to keep track of your health and like you have a tank and everything, but like all you're doing is just dodging. The whole point is that you just continuously dodge until eventually the boss dies because the damage over time gets them. And you do really good, except for that one boss whose old strategy is that the you only have a timer and then you lose. You got to boss rush them. You got to out DPS them. And then when that happens, you're like, oh, I've been hard. I can't win anymore. So if you're consistently doing damage, like maybe it's not too bad. Maybe you could do that. I don't know. I'm talking about a hypothetical, and I'm trying to figure out if I can, if it would it actually work, which is probably my first mistake. Because the answer is, I don't know. It's a hypothetical. You haven't even put the standards of like what game it is. There isn't a game that exists where you can do that. What? Oh, I stopped clicking the button. I was wondering why the enemies were getting close to me and not taking damage over time. Light wave, sure. God, that music is so good. I do wonder how, like, without my nostalgia goggles, how some of the early Star Wars holds up nowadays. Like, no matter what, when I watch them, I'm going to just be like, holy damn, this is it. You know, this is the thing I was brought up on. This is it. But I do wonder if like somebody that's never watched them, that doesn't have the bias of them obviously being old films, went into like the some of the old, 4, 5, and 6, what they'd actually feel about the whole thing. Like what they'd actually come out of it going like would they come out of it going, oh, this is just bad, like it's nostalgia goggles? Or would they come out of it going like, oh, this is not actually that bad? Like I know the fight choreography would leave something to be desired from a lot of people because the fight choreography in it is very limited, especially compared to say like Clone Wars or even uh, for like episode 1, 2, and 3, and like even like the later stuff. I mean, I think they toned it down a bit more and made it a bit less jumpy, flippy in the newer ones, but they're still better choreography. But I do wonder if like the story, the fact that you learn the origins of all these like characters that are still referenced in many of the new things. I mean, canonically, what's his name? Blimmin' Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren is like a Darth Vader wannaboy, right? Wannabe, right? He looks up to Darth Vader, which is ironic because the things he's doing in his name he would never want, right? But I guess that's literally the point. Um, so like they're still relevant in modern Star Wars. So I do wonder if like learning the origins of these people that aren't so relevant to the story would be interesting to do. Like for a person who's never seen it before. But I don't know. Seriously, I have no idea. I do think that there's a fair amount of movies that I don't think are just nostalgia, like the Hellboy movies, like the I don't know if they were original, but the ones I watched when I was a kid, they are genuinely good even to this day. Like I would genuinely say to people like give these a watch. They're really good. If I could if I went back with like none of my memories of that movie, of the both of the movies, honestly, I think I would still be like, these are great movies. Because there's this weird thing that I think a couple of people have been bringing up recently. Hold on, we'll go. Many numbers of 10% chance to. Let's do this one just because it increases fire rate. People have recently been sort of catching on to this as well and bringing it up, but it realistic like there was a point in time like around the time when like the first Transformer movies were coming out where like CGI was like insane. You know, they went to like insane lengths. And then I think there was just like a load of hate for it. And so people just stopped really doing good CGI. Like you can look at some of the like Transformer movies and they do like transformations in it and you're like I would never see that in like modern stuff. Like you get worse than that in modern stuff. Like even like this, you know, the Silver Surfer in the latest Fantastic Four movie. I look at it and go like, this is cool, but like you could make an argument that like the one from not even the last one, the one before that, the Rise of the Silver Surfer Fantastic Four movie. You could make a solid argument that that Silver Surfer, and it could be my nostalgia goggles, because it's entirely from my memory. But you can make an argument that that one was better, like quality CGI. I'm not sure about the story or like any of that stuff, but the CGI for the Silver Surfer, I think you can make a solid argument. We're never picking that up, which I think is kind of insane to think of, but I think it's true. But yeah, I don't know. It's a weird situation. I think slowly we're coming back to like actually having CGI, but like there was a portion where just people just didn't care, I guess, about it. I don't know. I'll say this, from what I've seen of the Fantastic Four movies, the Galactus that they've made for it, like they were able to actually do what they've actually had a hard time making Galactus be in general, which is actually do a faithful Galactus while still making him look scary. Because, like, if it was just a guy that was, like, looked like Galactus, I don't think for a second you'd consider them scary. But, like, he's scary because he's, like, this planet eater, right? And they were able to make that, I think, come across, in my opinion. I mean, I haven't actually seen the movie, so obviously, not the best person to be talking about it. I have no interest to see them, though. Like, I used to watch all of the Marvel films. But like the only one I'm vaguely interested in seeing is whatever they can do with Robert Downey Jr. And I'll be honest, I don't have too much of an expectation for it because I just don't think they're good anymore. Like they're like enthralling for me anymore, you know? But it's not just Marvel though. I think I just have a superhero drought in terms of movies I want to see. Just don't interest me. Then again, I think it might be a larger thing of just I don't really think I watch movies in general much anymore. I couldn't tell you the last movie I watched. That, hasn't been something on Netflix. Like, actively, I've gone to watch a movie at a movie, like a cinema or something. I couldn't tell you. Damage. Like 10%. I feel like they made the damage one a bit too high. Or they made the fire rate one a bit too low. It's one or the other. Oh, this increases my range of my thing. But I think this one's better. This one's 100% that. Actually, I don't think this one's good at all. Though it uses movement speed. But I don't want to be... I don't want to be not shooting. You know? I think I take magnetism. I don't think we need this as much as it might be a buff. Oh god, my speed is horrendous. I need to actually get more speed. I didn't realize how bad it was until, there's a point in where you're like, it's fine, and then you hit a point when you're like, oh god, it was never fine. It was just I just hadn't realized it because it was only going down by 10% every so often. But like almost every buff I've been taking has been lowering my movement speed as well. Please kill that thing before I have to dodge anything. I think I'm just fast enough to keep away from this thing. I was hoping these light balls would mean that I would do a lot more damage to this guy and he would be dead. How much health do you have? I've done more than 1,000 damage to both of you now. Why are you not dead? Uh, that's useless. Show me something that's useful. Like, is that useful? Not really. Piercing's useless. I don't... Light meteor. Yes, 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 yes. That does me damage. I need flat damage buffs. I need movement speed buffs. And I need buffs to... I guess... I guess that's sort of it. I guess fire rate, obviously, always, but... Ah! Ah, I don't even know what I got hit by. Ah! Give me speed! No! Stop shooting at me! The problem is I can't shoot and also get the bonuses to damage from the shooting. So this is an obviously worse version of the build that I just made. Still doing good though. But I have no buffs to my radiation anymore. God, my arm is hurting regularly. Ah! No! Please stop! Okay, okay, we're good. We're good? We're good. No. No. Fire rate up. Look, it can't be bad to up our fire rate. I know we said we wanted to up our movement speed, but like, if you think about it, fire rate is kind of like movement speed, except it kills the enemy faster, so you don't have to dodge. That makes sense? Ah! Stop summoning these dudes! Why isn't there the same of what I have for damage, but for movement speed, where it increases over time? Range? No, I don't want my damage down. But, like, spray and pray is so cool. But, like, almost certainly will get me killed. And this is bad as well. Where am I strict back? That'll never activate, though. I don't know what to pick. I don't know what to do. I mean, this is technically a buff. I wonder how much HP, like, some of the bosses actually have. Like, at what level am I, like, actually got, like, what level is it actually a problem? Like, this dude, I feel like has, like, 10... No, it's less than 10. It's more than 10,000. He might have, like, 100,000 health. Well, it took all of my mental capacity to dodge that one triangle there. I'm sure you noticed it was kind of, like, insane how much I had to concentrate on just dealing with that one triangle. Guided laser is useless. Hollow point is kind of useful. Sure. Am I hitting this with my basic attack? I'm really not sure. Kind of feel like I am because that thing just died. I am. Which means they could have been hitting me from that level. The fact they're moving around like that is kind of worrying. Okay, 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 okay. This guy's not really that hard. It's more dealing with those big attacks like that while also dealing with enemies. Okay, right, okay. This might be touch wood. It's fake wood, but it's still wood. This might be a situation where we're good. We have 5 health. We have an increased movement speed to being like something that could actually functionally work. The speed of the enemies has gone up, and the amount of them has gone up, but enemy like numbers have not actually been a problem for us. No, that's bad. That's okay. I mean, that's okay as well. Did I get rid of bleed? I feel like I did. Whereas this maybe makes it so that this is an extra more damage. And I can functionally actually like hurt stuff now. Ho ho ho! I don't like how long it takes for me to kill that thing. But then I'm literally not seeing anything but these bosses. Because everything else just dies. Maybe I do need that thing that makes it so that XP floats towards you. I mean, I think it's too late because I made it so that I can't have that anymore. Spawning every 4th kill. No, I'm not losing fire rate. In fact, anything that is losing fire rate can be removed from my chances of picking. If it says fire rate reduction, it will not be taken. I'm not taking movement speed reduction either. I'll take... I don't know, like... Is bleed... Bleed feels like the way to go. I know I didn't take the bleed upgrade, the 100% chance to bleed. But with the sheer amount of times I'm doing attacks, I think bleed has this whole thing where if you hit multiple times onto an enemy, like there's a reason for it. It does like overflow. But I could be completely making that up. I mean, it's at least adding like an extra 30 something damage every attack, which is not insignificant. I mean, it adds up. With how quickly we're doing this, like how quickly we're doing attacks, like we very quickly get to the point where those 30s add up to the point where it's 300, right? This is not happening. This does adds 20% damage to us, but I genuinely feel like I don't want to be taking that. Ah, we'll take it. It's a buff to our damage, even if it's like not that big. Am I getting to the point where the basic enemies can actually get close to me now? Kind of. Like, it's not insanely likely, but it's sort of there. Okay, I think we've got a good chance against the boss. I've been thinking about it. I've thought about it. I've come to the conclusion. I mean, this is just a 10% buff. This is better, though. We need to be building our build right now to deal with a boss. And every 3 attacks doing 150% of our bleed damage, which isn't a huge amount, but is not a small amount, is I think relevant enough that you take that. Is it better than a flat 10% buff, though? That is honestly a question where I feel like saying it out loud made me realize that maybe I was wrong. What is it wanting me to do? No! It lured me into a false sense of security. Every time it does that, I lose health. Maybe I need to be further back. Nope, I have to be further forward. Oh, you motherfucker. I hate everything that you are. Ah! It didn't do this last time! Yeah, I know that blimmin' routine now. Why did it do this last time? Why did it do this last... Is it distance? Does it have specific attacks based on how close you are? I swear to God, if you do that attack that has gotten me twice already. Got ya. Oh, and I did it perfectly. I did it so perfectly. You know why I did it perfectly? Because we have exactly 30 seconds left until we hit the 2 hour mark. So do you know what that means? That means I can do my my post-amble, which is, I hope everyone's had a good time watching this. I will see you on Wednesday for some Pillars of Eternity. I will see you on Friday for more Guild Wars 2. And I'll see you next Monday for more of whatever we feel like doing. But until then, I hope you have a good